First of all, welcome. I'm Mads from VertiChat, and I'm here with another one of our insanely talented vertical antagonists, recently turned protagonist.
Oh yes.
Is
Huge,
it
huge change there. The antagonist to protagonist. We'll see what next comes through.
is it Felix Lahiff?
It is, yeah. Well, yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, that's a good pronunciation there.
Woo! My first question is, can we start off by you telling me a little bit about yourself?
Yes, I'll go ahead. And so I am based currently now in Korea, in Seoul. I'm originally from the UK. My parents, my dad's Australian, my mum's British. I was in the UK for a while, then after I left, I graduated, I got a degree and moved to Japan. So I lived in Japan for a year. And then while I lived there, I kind of fell in love with Asian culture and I was like, this is insane. This is so much fun. I did all sorts of random jobs from working in, I mean, if you've ever been to Japan and Tokyo, they do these like go-karts where everyone dresses up as Mario or Luigi and takes people around the city like dressed up. And that was my job. So I used to take tourists around the city like dressed up as Mario and whatever and be like, all right, guys, like this, like this, like this, like doing little poses as we drove around the city. I was a driver for a bit. I worked in like Uber Eat. I did all sorts, just hustling while I was there. And then I moved from Japan. I spent a bit of time in the Philippines. And then from the Philippines, I moved to Korea. And then from Korea, I did all sorts of jobs. Started working in the entertainment industry, working in film and TV and modeling and yada, yada, yada. And then, as you're probably aware, the similar time that you started watching vertical dramas, this whole new genre of entertainment kind of exploded. And being in Asia is where it all kind of began, was quite a good place to be. So I started doing the vertical dramas. I was doing all sorts of different roles. Um, I think because of my features, they usually cast me as like an anti-hero or like a bad guy. But these days, there's a few like protagonist characters who kind of like bad boy protagonist characters, like someone who could be a bad guy but actually turns out to be good. So that's where I'm kind of right now, is I'm kind of fully into this whole wild west of vertical dramas. I think that's a good introduction of whatever I've been into. I hope that's filled in some information.
That is like, that is amazing. If I ever go to Japan, you are my tour guide. I want to do the go-karting. Like,
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, I promise you. I mean, unfortunately, I won't be your tour guide, but you'll have someone equally as ready for the job as I was. Probably more qualified than I was. I had a couple of days training and then suddenly like, all right, you're ready. Now get in the go-kart and start driving. And yeah, like it's legal to drive it on the streets in Tokyo. It's like a loophole in the law where you can drive go-karts. Like one of my friends worked in the go-kart shop in in Kyoto. So I met him in Kyoto and then we both drove go-karts from Osaka, a city next to Kyoto, to Kyoto, like across the street, because we both worked for this shop. They were like, "Yeah, just take them, it's fine." And we're like, "Cool." So we just drove them, me and my buddy, across the cities, like just two foreigners driving through Japan. It was wild. Everyone was just like, "What is going on?" And we were just cruising. It was so much fun. That was a good experience.
I bet that would have been like,
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people were like, "How you guys got these carts?" And we're like, "Yeah, we work for this company." They're like, "What? You guys are paid for this?" And we're like, "Yeah, I don't know how, but this is our job." And yeah, like that was a real fun time. That was like a working holiday visa kind of working holiday thing. If you got, I think you guys have them in ours.
yeah, yeah, we do. I know you don't have much time, so I was literally just going to keep firing them.
Right.
I was looking at your photography on your Instagram page. You've captured some really like powerful photos. Like,
Thank you.
holy moly. How did acting come about when you have such a keen eye for photography?
Yeah, I mean, I think just having time, like I take it for granted, but I've got a lot of free time compared to like, for example, if I worked in like I had the decision, like when I was at university, whether to go straight into corporate life and like all my mates working in like busy jobs in corporate world, they have like, 9 to 5, 9 to 6. You just don't have the time to be able to explore passions and hobbies. So I'm lucky enough that I have the time to be able to explore the hobbies. And like everything, like with photography and whatnot, it just takes a lot of time and dedication to just keep tacking at it and getting better and better. And I think also I'm just a real perfectionist. It's something that I have when it comes to acting as well, with, like you want to do it better and better. And every time you look at your stuff, you're just very critical rather than praiseworthy. You're like, oh, that was rubbish. Oh, I couldn't do that. And that was bad, like rather than being like, that was good. So I think with photography, it was just like having that mentality meant that I was just always pushing myself to keep getting better and better and better. And it's also like such a good, I haven't done it for a while now, but when some sort of inspiration comes, it's just like you get this huge excitement and passion. It's the same way when you're on set and a scene goes really well, and you just suddenly get this huge amount of adrenaline when you're doing the set, and you're just feeling it. And it's the same thing for photography or for, I guess, anyone who has some sort of passion that they suddenly get into this flow state. Yeah, so I don't know, just balancing. I have time to answer your question, a lot of time.
That was literally my next question. How does your photography influence your acting? Like,
Yeah, so yeah, that's to answer that question. Yeah, I think it's just my pursuit of trying to get better and perfecting it. I mean, I don't think you can ever get perfect, but the pursuit of perfection itself is, I guess, a good enough push in itself. Or these days, I'm just trying to with photography, I guess with acting as well, is trying to explore different routes, try and try different things out. Because I don't want to end up, just being, he's this guy with the scary eyes who just does all the bad guy stuff. But saying that, the next role is a bad guy role, so who knows? Maybe I'll just start, absolutely. I'll be like, Willem Dafoe of Verticals, just playing all these weird bad guy characters, which I don't mind. I like playing the eccentric roles, to be honest.
Willem Dafoe is an
Willem Dafoe.
amazing actor.
Yeah, he is. He is. He's a great actor. Yeah, I mean, like, if in terms of like people acting that I like am inspired by, it's probably like his acting or like, Andy Serkis. He was played Gollum in Lord of the Rings. He plays a lot of characters like, monkey characters in Planet of the Apes. Like those sorts of characters are really like very expressive. The way he does accents is really impressive. Like he just really inhabits another character, and I think that's a really good mentality to have. I don't want to just be like, I don't know, playing the same role every time, but just doing it really well. It'd be funner to like make mistakes, but be able to try and do different roles or try and get out there and do different things. Same with photography. I don't really mind now if I make mistakes with it or it's not as perfect as it was, because I was always obsessed with that when I was a bit younger. Like every shot has to be perfect, what I post online or whatever. So, you know, now I'm becoming more trying to be more whatever. Try things, make mistakes, that's fine.
I try to be, well, I don't try to be. It's a habit of like trying to be a perfectionist. I
Right.
need to break that cycle. It's really hard.
It is, yeah, it is. It's like even posting things online, sometimes you're just like perfectionist about it that you end up not, you procrastinate because of your perfectionism. And trying to break
Mhm.
that habit of procrastinating because you're a perfectionist is important. Like that's why it's good, like with photography and acting, is because in a way, like you just have to do it when you're on the set. It's like you can't really delay. It's like 3, 2, 1 action, or 3, 2, 1 take a picture, whatever. So it's in the moment, which I think probably another reason why I'm drawn to that sort of those sorts of things.
So it's like a one try, and it's like, oh, too bad if you mess it up.
Well, yeah, I guess so. But like now with modern technology, you can take 1,000 shots and then just choose one of
Oh,
the right one. Or with vertical acting, like you have a few takes before they're like, okay, like come on, like get it right now, You want to do it basically on the first or second take, but like, with the joy of or the beauty of editing or acting or filmmaking is that they can keep taking takes until they get the one they like. But different to verticals, as I'm sure you know, is like the time frame is a lot shorter. So like it just means that, the viewers will be exposed to not, like in motion pictures, like horizontal dramas, they have thousands of takes over one day for one scene. Whereas for vertical dramas, you have many scenes over one day, and it's like a very tight budget. So there's going to be mistakes, there's going to be mess ups, there's going to be whatever. You just got to be happy with it and try as hard as you can for those takes that you've got.
Especially like missed lines or like out of
Right,
order. Like,
right. Yeah, exactly. Like I don't know how much you know about I mean, you probably had other, or maybe this is your first one or whatever. I don't know, but from what I've experienced from the verticals that I've done is like, you arrive, they explain the scene, you have like one rehearsal, and then it's like, all right, action. That's most of the time. It's like you go in there, they're like, okay, here's the blocking shots. Like you walk in, you walk in, you walk in. Okay, great, we've got it. Let's do it. And it's like that. It's kind of wild, but it works a lot of the time. It's kind of like very organic in a way. Because if you're in the right, if you've got the right chemistry with a, maybe you've seen sometimes there's like two protagonists who work well together, the female and male lead, so the chemistry's good and like it works. But other times, if they don't have a good chemistry, it could just be a terrible drama, I guess. I don't know.
no, I think I have seen a few of those. But no,
Yeah.
I feel like if you think about it too much, you'll overthink it, and that's when you screw up.
Right, for sure. You just get into your own head.
Yeah.
And
But no. In the vertical world, you're mostly the antagonist. Is there something in particular that draws you to that role?
um, I do think the antagonist is in many ways in the dramas is a lot more fun. Like the protagonist for male protagonists in vertical dramas, a lot of the time is like a sort of kind of like he just drives the action, but like doesn't really. He's just like comes in, he says like a few words, he stops them from slapping each other and says like, "Hey, everyone stop doing this now." Like it's kind of like that. That's kind of like like in a lot of them, the good guy. And I just I don't think I'm drawn to playing that good guy role so well because it just doesn't really excite me that much. Like if you're playing a protagonist who's kind of like a dick. That's a bit more relatable. Like he's a bit more like, okay, there's a reason why. Okay, let's find out. There's a bit more depth to it. But like a lot of the time, you see a lot of protagonists who are like cold, and that's pretty much. And they open up only to the female lead, and they always come in to save the day. And it's just, I don't really, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's fun being the antagonist. You've got a lot more creative direction as well. They kind of let you do whatever you want. There's not as much pressure. Like when you're the male lead or the female lead, the show's kind of like written around you. You drive the show, but then when you're the antagonist, you can kind of throw in whatever, and people have to go with it, which is fun. Like I think one of the funnest antagonist ones I did was one of my first ones where I played like did you watch the Deeply Trapped? Yeah, that was fun.
That
I was
was
there.
so good. Oh my God. I is it on your Instagram?
I think
It's got
yeah,
like a still of like you.
yeah.
Oh my, it gave me chills the first time I saw it. I was like, holy crap. Like
Uh, that was fun. That was fun. That was fun. Yeah, that was a
that
cool
was just
scene. Like,
extra. Like
they were like that was like my first shock. Like they were very like shocked by that one actually. They didn't really know what to expect. I think they thought it was going to be like a standard bad guy kind of role, and I went full on with the weirdness and whatever. And I think it kind of made it fun because it kind of given a really good like contrast to the main characters who are very like relatable and just very like sort of standard. So having this like weird, wacky kind of like Joker-esque bad guy kind of gave it a whole another layer. And it was just fun because I kind of did whatever, and they were like, "Yeah, great, let's just keep going with it." They didn't really stop me. It was funny because I kind of talked like 95% of those scenes. It was like I had like 5% of the time it was someone else talking. It was like in and out, done. That was it. So that was cool. That was a fun scene. Really, really fun character. Vince Hartley, I think is yeah.
you just gave it that little bit extra flavor. Like
I went full on weird on that cut roll. It's
no, it
cool.
made it awesome.
Yeah, that was fun. I appreciate
Oh,
it.
What do you think makes a good antagonist?
Ooh. To be honest, actually, whenever I do an antagonist, I try to actually like I try to think about like not just like trying to make him like weird or wonderful or whatever. It's like actually trying to make it in some way relatable to as much as I can and like trying to like I mean there's so much more I can learn because I'm still like still learning so much every day like but from what I've experienced in my short time of this is that every time I get a character, I do change the lines a lot as well. Like whenever you see those lines, I've changed those lines to be what I feel like I should say rather than what the script is. And many times it's completely different to what was written. I mean, I keep the same kind of overall gist, but I change it into like being more of what I feel like the character would be. And I think that what's important for the character is that there is some sort of arc and some sort of like real reason for why he is that way. Not just like he's bad because he's bad or like whatever, or like he's just getting angry because he has. I have to find some reason for it because then that translates into the way that you act. Because I mean, I did an antagonist role where I play this like Lucas, this like American character. We did like a southern character and he's this like really whiny boy, but he wasn't actually like a bad guy. He was kind of like a sort of just a spoiled brat. And I changed the lines to for him from being like this like unnecessary bully to being more about the fact that he was like an unloved son. And it kind of translated much better, I think, on the screen, was the fact that there was a reason, a justification for him being this way. And you kind of, in the end, I was kind of begging that the audience would find some level of like you know, empathy for him, even though he's a bad guy. And that's what I kind of want to get. Is like if you can empathize a tiny bit with the bad guy, then that's kind of like what I would like.
I really appreciate you saying that you change some of the lines to fit how you would portray that character instead of
Yeah.
just reading what's on the page because that's very like I don't know, it's not in depth.
Right.
And like I feel like these some of the characters that are shown don't have that depth. I think that's what a lot of us are like. We need more depth. We need more backstory. We need like the villain to actually have a reason to be what like a bitch. Like
Right.
they need like an actual reason instead of just just because.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because a lot of the time for these dramas is like there's not really any good reason. It's like maybe like she just loves the other character more than that one, and then that one didn't ever get the love back, and it's suddenly like she's a bitch the entire time. It's not really that justified. So I try to find some justification. You read the script, you read it 2 or 3 times, you find these little clues, and then from that you help to build your character. And then when you build your character, you can then change the lines because you realize who the character is. And then you're like, actually, wait a minute, my character, like, or this character wouldn't say that. He would say it like this. And then from there, you can start to act much more realistically, I mean, realistically, more vertically realistically, in terms of, as much as you can convince people of the dramatic nature of it. But yeah, I mean, I did one drama. It was a medical genius one, and my character was such a bad bastard, Raymond. He was such a bad guy. I think it was the worst character I think I had, but I changed all those lines as like most of the 90% of the lines to reflect why he felt like that. And I tried to justify it that like he'd just gone mad and gone crazy in his like anger. So like at one point, like he tips over the level and everything after that is just because he's in this like flight of fury because his whole life is falling behind him. But like that's the only way I could convince myself to act like that. Because otherwise you're like, this is just wild.
I think that's the only one that I haven't seen. Obviously, I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
No, it's okay. I mean, I don't think that was particularly very. I mean, I think the acting was pretty good. There was a lot of like crying scenes and just anger, but it was just such heightened emotions the whole time. Like it wasn't like the most joyous to film because you have to get into this level of anger and like fear and whatever. Like the entire time I'm filming, I'm just like my emotions are like heightened because you have to in order to like express that on screen, you need to feel some level of anger or sadness. And so like every take it's like, okay, stop. Okay, this next one. More anger, more sadness, because the character, there's no like happiness in that whole vertical. So I wouldn't watch that one. It's just so dark, that one. Um, I don't know how well it did as well. I don't think it was particularly very well filmed, edited even, but we'll see. Yeah.
That was literally my next question. How do you get into the mindset of darker characters?
But yeah, so I'm building a process. I mean, I feel like a lot of people that come into acting, they've got like a lot of acting training. Like I work with a lot of actors who've been doing this their whole life. So a lot of the ones I've worked with from LA or from New York or whatever, from the American actors, they've all like went to acting school. They all have like a more of a process. They all have a style of acting that they're trying to build around towards. They have like acting coaches when they go back. Whereas on my side, I feel like I just kind of bring a different rawness. I mean, I would say maybe it's an amateur level of it, but I'm trying to build my own method for it, which revolves around first, obviously, like reading through the script multiple times, understanding your character from all the hints that other people say about your character, and then from there, kind of like you feel like you understand the lines, change the lines, obviously, to help you feel the scene better. And then from there, yeah, it's just like from meeting with the director, you get a better sense of how they want you to portray it, and then you come back with your own ideas. But it's kind of like you can never want to go to a script or script reading where you're just asking them well how to do it, or what to say, or whatever. Um, for my last drama I did, I was the protagonist. That was probably one of the most. That's probably the most fun script I did. That was a really good script. I feel like I hope it does well. I thought like the energy was good. The quality of the filming was really good. The whole team was really good. It was filmed with a really good actress as well, Lottie. She might have watched some of hers before. Lottie Guidi. She's a great actress. So we worked together on that one, and my character was kind of like he was like a bad guy, but actually was like an anti-hero. And in the end, he turns in. He's like it kind of leaves it on like a bit of a cliffhanger, and then it ends. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna say it actually, but yeah, it's kind of like yeah, I'm not gonna say anything to you about it. You should watch it. It comes out in a month or 2 months, I don't know. But yeah, that was a really cool one. And to get into that character, I just had a lot of time to talk with the director and the producer and my own style of it and looking at like old like movies and stuff that they recommended, and then from all of that you kind of blend together some semblance of a character identity that you kind of like go off. But then you only really get into characters like within the second or third day. Like the first 2 days is like trial and error, and then the third day, fourth day, you start to like feel it. And by the last few days of filming, you're like, I understand this character now really well. I can just do it very easily. But that's the nature of vertical dramas, is that like when you start doing it, it's just like the first couple of days as you build chemistry with your co-stars, you understand the storyline a bit more, you understand your character a bit more, and then by like three or four, you've got into it more, and then by the end, just got into it, and then it finishes, and then you move on to the next drama. Which I could imagine that like if you did like a full horizontal drama, like a proper feature, you'd have time to build chemistry, time to like, read through the script many times before you then go on set. And then by that point, you've already built like a good chemistry and understanding of a character. Which just it's exciting though. I love the fact that verticals are like this, to be honest.
That is very interesting. Like,
Yeah,
mhm.
getting all this information about the
Yeah.
inside work of these things.
I never actually really like thought of the process it would take. Obviously, like you do like a chemistry read, don't you? But like beforehand.
Right.
Yeah. And then yeah, okay. Never mind. I just clicked.
Yeah, you do like a chemistry read, and then you do like, but like like it's just very like quick. Everything's faster. Pre-production, post-production, editing, it's all quicker. So everything has to be done much faster. Because it's on a much less of a budget than a horror than a feature-length movie. Which is exciting though. Like I can imagine like if you're doing like a feature length, you spend 90% of the time sitting and waiting. you know, you're just doing takes after take after take of the same one page of script. Whereas for verticals, it's like just quick go 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 go. They just try and get as much done as possible in one day. You know, you could be doing like all sorts of stuff in one day, which is fun. Three different locations in one day, like, you know, it's really cool.
That's hectic.
It is, but it's like a full, it's like a roller coaster ride, you know, like super adrenaline fueled kind of madness. And I think a lot of people feed off that. A lot of people, you know, like I think a lot of people love the camaraderie and the vibe of it all, you know. Even if the end product isn't as good as you want, the the actual process is a lot of fun most of the time. Oh, you hope the product's going to be good. I mean, like I'm always like begging, like, you know, like wanting to do an extra take. Like I remember like the last one I did, the one that hasn't come out yet, we did the first scene on the last day. And by that point, we'd already built a huge amount of chemistry. We'd already worked together. And I had to film it like it was our first time meeting each other, of course, because it's like, you know, when the two protagonists meet each other for the first time. And for the fucking life of me, I just couldn't get it because it was like, you know, you look like you already met her or whatever. And then by the end, it was like, it must have been like 10, 11 takes, which is a huge amount for a vertical. Like you usually do two or three takes. But you know, it's so funny. You know, you just get so in your head about wanting to make it perfect or like wanting to like express it with genuine nature. But yeah, you only do as well as you can, you know?
I can definitely understand that.
Yeah.
If you could go back to your first role, what advice would you give yourself?
Oh, just chill out. It's not a big a deal. You know, like I remember my first time I was terrified. I still get a bit of nerves now, of course, like whenever you get on set for the first time, you're with a whole new group of people. So you have to feel like your first take, you're gonna be like, this is why I'm here. I'm gonna show to you guys why why they made me this role, whatever. But the first ever take I did of my first role, like I could, like even getting through the lines, I was like, I had like two lines. I was like, oh my God, you know, like yeah. Because it's just like you have so much nerves because you just want to do well, but you're just like, you know, it's the same for everything that I've done. For the first time you ever do anything, you get a huge sense of fear and nervousness. And I think the best thing you can possibly do as an actor is just like relax and just chill. Just relax. That's the most important thing. I think it's for everything you do, to be honest. Just relax. It's not a big deal.
That's like when I first started doing these interviews, I was like, I want to do them really, really bad. Like I want to like interact with you guys and get your like your story and all that. And I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I nearly canceled like my first one. And I was like,
Yeah.
I can't. Like I was freaking out. But my mentor was like, just freaking do it. Like
Yeah, for that.
once you get it over and done with, it'll be like the best thing you've ever done. And I'm like, yeah, he really is. Like
You enjoying it?
I
Well,
am. I am. I'm meeting so many of you guys, and it's it's good to have like that, I don't know, different perspective from everybody in this
right,
space. Like it's not just what you see on screen.
right.
Like you're the first one that I've met that's like, I love being the antagonist. Like
Right. Yeah, no, it's fun. It's fun. But most people, what do most people say? They say like, I don't want to be the antagonist. I don't like hurting people. Yeah, I mean, it depends what antagonist you are, right? Like some of the domestic, like, I think, yeah, maybe that's true. Maybe it's true. Maybe I've got a dark side to me. No, it's I think they're just telling you that, you know, they're just trying to be, you know, good PR, good PR. Yeah, yeah. I mean, antagonist is I mean, yeah, both's good, but I mean, it's yeah. I'll just leave it at that. I'm just gonna dig myself a hole here.
I feel like you can get more creative with an antagonist than you can a protagonist.
For sure. That's one of the reasons is like the creativity side. It's like with an antagonist, you can kind of dominate the room, whereas a protagonist, you kind of like react. Your reactors, and the antagonist is the one that does the action. So they're all like everyone's on waiting for you to do something. which is cool. Which is cool to have that like control of the room. You can kind of like throw it anywhere, and you can be a lot more spontaneous and also creative in that way. Like whatever I whatever happens, then they'll react to it. The
Mm.
antagonist would be the protagonist would be like, "No, don't do that. Stop. This is my girlfriend." Duh, 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 duh," and then she'll be like, "Hey,
There's only certain ways that the protagonist can go, where the
right, right,
antagonist can go like
yeah,
everywhere. Like,
exactly, exactly. I can start laughing madly. I can start like, just like, it's whatever. I mean, like you can imagine, when you watch it, the antagonists usually look like they're having more of a control or craziness about them. Yeah.
oh my God. You post on your Instagram about cycling and exploring nature. What
Yes.
do these moments give you creatively?
Mm. Cycling and running and all sorts of other things. Um, just that's a good question. What do they give me? Don't know. I think I need it for sanity, probably. Sanity. When it comes to like going to nature or going to the beach or cycling or running or whatever, like I do a lot of different activities. I think a lot of the time it's just it keeps me on a really good like mentally and physically healthy. And as you know, like all these vertical dramas demand that like the antagonist or sorry, the protagonist has like it's like in the script there's like a rippling eight pack, like it's always like, some of them ridiculous physique. So it kind of lends itself for the filming as well. A lot of the time they want like a lead character to be in good physique. But that's not why I do it, to be honest. It's more just mental health. It just, keeps me on a good routine and gives me a good consistency. Especially when I'm filming, when you do these filmings, you could be out for like 10 days, just like every day on 12-hour days, like, just hardly any sleep, just going at it. It's like being like a sort of festival or a party. You just have to keep going. And then afterwards you kind of feel like broken. You've like expended all of your physical, emotional, every energy you've got. You get spat back out to your respective countries or whatever, and then I just want to just relax and chill and get back into a healthy lifestyle, eat healthy, go out, see friends, and like I just did the yesterday, day before yesterday. Yesterday actually, it was the marathon. So I just did a marathon, Seoul marathon, which was really fun. Good weather, good vibe. I can't walk now. My legs completely destroyed. But got that stuff like that keeps me sane. And also all my friends are doing that sort of stuff. So to do it together, the friends it's a really nice way to socialize.
So, like, for it to help you mentally, it helps you creatively
Yeah, I mean,
to be in the right headspace.
I think to do acting justice as well, I think you need to be
Mm.
very confident of yourself. Even if you're playing another character, you need to be very confident when you go to any of these. I think confidence is like the most important aspect of it. Um, I mean, you have to have a skill, of course, but confidence is where the acting skill comes in. It's like if you doubt yourself or you doubt your ability or whatever, then that affects your performance. And when you do competition or when you try to challenge yourself with by going somewhere or doing some exercise or doing like a racing competition or whatever, that builds your confidence in a way and makes you feel more assured of who you are and what you're doing. So I think that level also helps with your acting in a way, potentially. I don't know.
No, thank you for that. This one's like a quick get to know you. Favorite animal?
Um, oof, favorite animal. What did I say last time? I have a favorite snake, but that's just very. I used to have pet snakes when I was a kid. Very strange, I know. But I had like a ball python, one snake. But I like a snake called a gaboon viper. It's a cool looking snake, but that was my like. I didn't get one because it's very poisonous and can kill you. But but I thought that was pretty cool. As someone from Australia, maybe you have a chance for snakes, or you just don't like snakes at all. But yeah, I don't know. Favorite.
I would rather snakes than spiders. I can't do spiders.
Yeah, I mean, Yeah, spiders as well. That's pretty hectic. I don't like spiders. I don't know actually. I'm too indecisive to choose a specific animal that I could be like, this is my favorite animal. Yeah. Maybe like a when I was a kid, it was like a dinosaur, but those animals are all extinct. Like a T-Rex is extinct. But I mean, if I could, I'd have a T-Rex or a woolly mammoth. That's pretty cool. Or a dog. I could just be basic and say dog or tiger or lion. They're all pretty cool.
That's the first time I've ever heard a dinosaur.
Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, they all want to say it, but they don't want to actually say it. The dinosaur is pretty epic. Yeah, I'd take a dinosaur if I could.
Favorite food.
Um, Favorite food is I'm in Korea right now, so I eat a lot of Korean food. Depends on the situation, right? So if I'm like with my friends eating out at a restaurant, I'd go for Korean. If I'm by myself, and I want something healthy and decent and whatever, I'd have Japanese food. And if I'm at home, maybe like Italian, something like that. So it depends on the situation. Yeah.
Very different.
Yeah.
It's a wide variety there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Italian food, you eat a lot of Italian for like probably not very like, authentic Italian food, but my dad used to make a lot of like Italian food at home. So that's like a home comfort. It's like spaghetti bolognese or something like that, or like some sort of carbonara. So I'd have that at home, for when I want to like have like home comfort. But I used to live in Japan and I used to eat a lot of the time by myself. So like I'd have a lot of like ramen and sushi by myself. And so they've made a whole like culture around eating by yourself in Japan, like at restaurants. So I'd definitely have Japanese as like a by myself, or maybe on like a date. Actually, they got good like that vibe. And then Korean food is so good for sharing and for socializing. So definitely Korean barbecue or something like that. I think every Korean food is pretty much done for sharing. Like you always have like a bowl in the middle and you share together. So yeah, depends. Yeah,
Depends what mood you're in.
depends what mood, depends what situation. Everything is a every decision is a decision. It's not clear. Even choosing a
Nothing
house.
is clear with you at the moment. Like, couldn't even
Uh,
choose your favorite animal. Like,
no, there's just so many animals out there. Like I think my favorite animal before was like a wolf or something, but that's like a dog basically. So I don't know.
yeah.
Maybe I'm getting into the werewolves. I'm saying my favorite animal's a wolf.
Oh,
I'm becoming a werewolf. Yeah, just roll a werewolf. Hopefully, I don't have to do like a transformation scene. Do some weird, strange, like I don't know. Maybe it'll be like, I don't know I don't know how else you change into a werewolf. Yeah,
favorite color.
my favorite color is probably I don't know. Actually, that's home as well. Pit blue, blue maybe blue or pink. I like pink or orange.
Nothing wrong with pink.
Actually,
Orange
orange
is
is
good.
pretty good. These days, I've got like an orange bike, and I've got orange everything. This is orange, my orange keychain of my bike, but my actual like scooter is orange as well. It's like bright orange. And then my headphones are also orange as well. So I'm just going full orange these days. Maybe I'm just peacocking. Just driving around Seoul on my orange bike and orange helmet as well. I've got an orange helmet somewhere as well. Everything's orange.
Nobody would miss you.
No, they don't. That is the foreign guy with the orange bike and the orange helmet and the orange headphones and the orange keys.
Far out. Dream country to visit.
Dream country to visit. Oh, dream country. Like haven't visited it or visited?
Haven't visited.
Haven't visited. Um, I've got a map of the world right here. I can just have a look. Um, I'd I would like to go to like like Central Asia, like like Uzbekistan or Turkmenistan or like one of the stans. There's a lot of stans. Tajikistan. Somewhere I haven't really had a chance to actually know anything about. Like one of my friends is from Kazakhstan. So it'd be cool to like there's a lot of people from that area of the world in Korea. Um, and so I'm intrigued about that sort of place. Or Bhutan as well. Do you know Bhutan is near Nepal and it's just looks stunning. They have like they measure people the way they you know how like most countries they measure the country's success by its GDP, by like basic money, whereas Bhutan measures success by its happiness index, so how happy the people are. So they're usually seen as like the most happy country in the world because they try to find ways to keep people happy rather than, not necessarily like improving the economy to make as much money as possible. And just looks stunning, very like interesting architecture. It's in the mountains as well, near Nepal. Um, so yeah, maybe that place would be pretty cool.
I didn't even know that place existed. So thank you for
Yeah,
opening my eyes.
yeah. I mean, it'd be interesting to go there, right? Bhutan.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, I've been lucky enough to go to a lot of places that I wanted to go to. And then China, because of the filming, I've gone to a lot of the different areas. Um, China's one thing I take away from it is China is so big, so huge. The scale of it is nothing like you can really imagine. Like you can drive from one city to another city, and then it's like, oh, you move from one 10 million population to another 10 million population, and you go to a city you've never heard of, which is, like Australia's population is what, like 30 million people, maybe around that. It's so you can go to one city with a third of the population of Australia, or another, and next door is another city. Within the same area, you have like the whole population of Australia in one tiny area of China. It just kind of blows your mind.
That's really sad.
It's interesting. I just don't know, like, I mean, it makes you realize just how many people are in China.
I'm now searching up the population of Australia because I feel like it's not 30 million.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe it's more. How much is it?
Yeah, you're pretty much right.
27 million. That's pretty close.
Yeah.
Uh, what is
God. How? Hmm?
knowing populations? That's a sort of weird thing that you can kind of. I know some populations of countries.
Favorite season?
Famous. Depends which country I'm in, to be honest. Again, if I'm in the UK, summertime is the best. But in Korea, like spring, and in Asia, basically China, South Korea, Japan, Taiwan, I think you want to be in spring or autumn. It's pretty nice. Well, China, I don't know because it's such a big country, but South Korea and Japan, from where I've lived, autumn and springtime is beautiful. Summer's super hot and winter's super cold. So yeah, it depends really like which country that I'm in at that time. Um, but yeah, I'd say spring and autumn is pretty amazing these days. Sp-
Mm.
I had to choose between the two of them, maybe spring. Because autumn
Spring.
you end with winter, which is, like in most places is not great. It's not great unless you know, are going to a ski resort the whole time. Whereas autumn, it's beautiful, but then you end up going to, yeah. So spring, you end up going to summer, so it only gets better and warmer. That makes sense. Some very
Yeah.
complex answers here. I could just be much more simple and just say spring.
I don't know. An answer's an answer. So,
Yeah, yeah. I just confused with more. There's nothing is simple in this world.
oh, okay. One word answer, or like whatever the title is.
What
What's your
answer?
favorite movie?
Of Gladiator, probably, or Lord of the Rings. There you go. That was easy. That was easy. That was the only one which was easy. You were expecting me to be like one word answer for each of them. It's never like that. It's never that easy. No.
Oh, favorite music genre?
Jazz.
Hmm. Favorite singer and song?
Oh, this is just too complicated now. Favorite singer song. Um,
Skip.
yeah, skip that one. Otherwise, I could be here for another few hours explaining the history of music.
City life or country life?
Probably city life because city life maybe, yeah. But I love country life. I want it all. I want it both. Can I live in a city with the countryside next door? That would be my ideal position. That's my problem is I want everything. Just pure greed.
Indecisive.
Indecisive. That's another answer to that one. Indecisive. Be indecisive.
Biggest pet peeve?
My indecision. That is my pet peeve. Probably
Name 3 things you can't live without. Only 3.
my bike, actually, my scooter. Honestly, if I was in South Korea, it's definitely my bike. I couldn't live without that. Getting around on a bike is so much quicker than on public transport, anything like that. The other thing would probably be my headphones are also orange. That'd be pretty good. I listen to a lot of stuff on my phone, on my headphones. What else can I live without? Probably I don't want to be boring, but probably the phone as well. Yeah.
It's become a trend.
Yeah, everyone's saying phone, but you can't really live without it, can you? Like, how am I supposed to get anything without it? Especially freelance work.
Mm.
Camera, maybe that would be pretty important as well. Camera, phone. Like, if I could, I do delete Instagram and then I have to go back on it. Like a sort of an addict has to go back to his stuff. It's like every so often I have to re-download it, and this is like this sort of the shame of logging back in and then going straight back into the sort of doom scroll. I'm like, yes, but you have to use it for this world I live in.
Unfortunately, you do.
Yeah, I mean, there's pros and cons, but yeah,
Mm.
pros and cons.
Last one before we wrap up.
Yes.
Describe yourself in 5 words
Um, I'd
or
say.
1 sentence.
I'd say yes, man, for sure. Probably number one is I would say yes to any opportunity if it presented itself. If yeah, like if someone said like, do you want to jump off this building and it's 100% guaranteed you'll survive, even though it's crazy, I'll be like, okay, sure, if I can survive and it's gonna be funny, whatever. If it's a new experience, I'll try it. I'd also say that I'm pretty like, yeah, I don't know. There's all sorts of it's hard to describe yourself, to be honest. I'd say. I mean, you could probably make a good judgment from this conversation. Indecisive is probably one of them. The fact that I've taken so long to answer these questions. Um, yeah, I
If
need to
only
get.
we had more time, we would be here for like a long time. Like,
Yeah, exactly. One of those moods where I just chat complete indecisive rubbish about the meanderings of life. Yeah, maneuverable. Maneuverable. What's the word when you can you're I feel like I would fit into many vessels, like a liquid. If I was an element, I'd be water. You could just put it into different situations and you'd be able to adapt. Adaptable. There you go. I
yeah.
found the word. Adaptable. Very adaptable. Yeah. Very, 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 very adaptable. There you go. That's 5 words. And there you go. That's probably it. So I can give you another nuanced answer. I wasn't not in the right headspace right now to be able to give eloquence.
That is okay.
Yeah,
But no, we're going to have to wrap up. Otherwise, you're going to be late for your next meeting.
right. I will be
Then,
because I have to actually leave here and go. It's an in-person one, but
yeah.
this was lovely. Thank you so much for inviting me onto your panel, to VertiChat.
No, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, I hope it was in some ways insightful.
No, this was really fun. Like, I really enjoyed this. No, thank you.
And it begins again. Yeah, I hope you watch the new show that comes out maybe this month, maybe next month. Who knows? I
What
haven't.
platform?
It's on what's it called? Stardust TV.
Stardust TV.
Stardust TV. That's it. Stardust TV. Yeah, you know better than I do. Yeah, Stardust TV. Yeah, it will be
Please
on
send me one.
Stardust TV, and it will be hopefully not too bad.
Well, I'll share it for everybody to look at. So
Wonderful.